Speaker, I just rose on Standing Order 103 to direct the House that it is a matter of public knowledge and notoriety that in fact the subject that is being brought to the floor of this House is a subject of court proceedings that are happening in front of the whole country. It will be highly prejudicial, Honourable Speaker, for us to engage in that debate at this particular moment in time. I think for the respect of the constitutional institutions that we have, because you will remember, Honourable Speaker, last week when this House was charged with that matter, the courts refused to intervene. I think we owe it to the other constitutional institutions to also give them the respect they deserve under the rules of sub judice, not to discuss those matters when they are live before them. Having said that, Honourable Speaker, I have always laid this complaint on the table of Parliament. There is something called continuity of government. If you look at the matters that are in the order paper, those questions were not even filed last week. Some of those questions are as old as 6 months, a year. And it is very unfortunate that it takes that long for us to engage with cabinet secretaries, because one of the things that we have tried to do in this House is to stay current. There are many, many matters that are live right now, including matters in the energy docket. And I was expecting to see the Cabinet Secretary for Energy here. At least in the Ministry of Interior, you can say maybe there was confusion as to who should appear this morning. But, Honourable Speaker, the excuse that has come from the Cabinet Secretary for Energy is an excuse that I will never accept before this House, because we have said that constitutionally you must prioritize appearance before this House. We as representatives of the people have a lot of questions to put across to the CS for Energy. Honourable Speaker, we have not had opportunity to have conversations about some of the things that are going on in the country, including the energy contracts that we hear are being signed in respect to that Adani company that has become now notorious. So these CSS, Honourable Speaker, we must every single time remind them that this House requires them to be here to answer questions relating to questions that are being raised by our constituents. And we need to stay live, we need to stay relevant, and you cannot come in 2026 to answer questions about Adani, and we are hearing that deals have already been concluded. So, Honourable Speaker, once again, I want to register my disappointment that cabinet secretaries are not taking these appearances seriously, and yet we have live matters for which our constituents demand that we ask questions. I thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Sifuna. Now, honourable members, further reminder that, as well put by Senator Sifuna, these are matters which are live before the courts of law. And if you must comment, particularly with regard to non-appearance by the CS Interior, you be alive to the fact that this is something that is ongoing before a judicial body, and therefore you limit your comments to the extent permissible in the House. Senator Manzo was in court, so he knows what it means to have such matters discussed on the floor of the House when they are actively being dealt with by our courts of law. Senator, I'll give one more. Senator Mofire.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I agree with the sentiment of quite a number of us, including Senator Wambua, that the matter before us is being advanced elsewhere. And of course, Honourable Speaker, we are all aware as a House that CS Interior Githore Kindiki has been very faithful to his duty. He has been appearing before this House before. He has been appearing in quite a number of committees. So, and I think because of this, what is happening now between, I think, the last few days, this is exactly why we have not been able to receive CS Interior in this House. But of course, I will also agree with Senator Sifuna, because we have so many other CS who are supposed to appear before us, including the CS Rones. I think I have some pending questions over that matter. So I think we must register some dissatisfaction over that, so that maybe we can compel these people to appear before this House. But this is an obligation, Honourable Speaker, that they are supposed to appear and answer questions written to what is contained in our question. So, Honourable Speaker, I think I agree with the other senators that CS Interior has been very faithful to summonses and the other to invitations in the relevant committees and before this House. So I think now that the matter is being advanced elsewhere, I also agree with your ruling that yes, leave it at that until when time allows us to discuss. Thank you.
Lastly, Senator Manzo, Daniel.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on this matter of appearances by CS, it is true some of these questions are very old. It is true matters are pending in court, and it is true that also other cabinet secretaries who have been invited and their situation has not been explained are not here. Mr. Speaker, there must be a way of making sure that this House is respected, that questions are answered. You know, I'm one of the people who had questions against Professor Kidiki, who is my friend. And my question is as early as 6 months ago in relation to the killings of demonstrators and abductions. But I know right now I may not get that done. We await the outcome of court in this case, but the rest of the cabinet secretaries, Mr. Speaker, should be here. And a stern warning must be sent that if you are going to fail to show up, you have to have a sufficient reason, which is a cabinet meeting or outside the country, and there must be notification to the House. Mr. Speaker, the House must be respected because we represent the counties, we represent the people of Kenya, and we are here on behalf of the people of Kenya who have employed these CSS. I thank you.
Thank you, Senator Beatrice Ogola. You will be speaking next, so you will you'll make your comments after the next order is called out. And clerk, please call the next order.
Order number 8, motion. Report of the Kenya delegation to the extraordinary session of the 6th Parliament of the Pan-African Parliament held at the Gallagher Convention Center, Midrand, South Africa from 20th to 27th March 2024. Resumption of debate interrupted on Wednesday, 9th October 2024, morning sitting.
Now, honorable members, when the House last sat, Senator Beatrice Ogola was making her contributions to the motion, and you had a balance of 7 minutes to conclude on your contribution. You may, if you wish, continue to utilize the 7 minutes to conclude on your contributions on this motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to complete my submission as I was making them the last time. And Honorable Speaker, before I get to the motion, I also would have liked to add my voice to the previous debate and to state that we all expect as a Senate that cabinet secretaries as notified appear in the House, because as a House we are representatives of the people. I was looking forward to the appearance of the Energy CS because of the vast challenges my county and my sub-county and of course the whole of this nation are facing, especially that in my county, Honorable Speaker, we have lots of cases of faulty transformers. Honorable Speaker, some of our villages have not had electricity, which is a right, for the last over 2 to 3 months, and I expected the CS to respond. However, I know CS Energy is a very sober officer in this country. Since he was appointed to that post, I've seen him traverse this country from region to region, and that is a testament that is keen on delivering to the people of Kenya. However, when he comes, I think he will be able to respond to our queries. Honorable Speaker, on the ongoing motion, I had done my submission, and as I end on that, I only want to reiterate that we remain very proud of Senator Mungatana and Senator Kamar, who are members of that parliament. But I want to say, Honorable Speaker, that I look forward to an Africa that will have an enhanced infrastructure that can serve the region all over.